Welcome to the Nuzlocke, my series where every video I beat one Pokemon game with my emotionally damaging rule set. I play through every Pokemon game in a row as a generation lock, but I can't repeat Pokemon. If I get a Shinx, that's the only one I get. It either has to come with me to the next game and be reused as a level 5 babe, or it'll meet its demise. Or, you know, I can just leave it behind in the box. But I can't get another one! That being said, the playlist is in my description with all previous episodes, as well as a short video explaining the rules, since there's a couple more things I want to go- God damn! Wow, okay. Well, I guess let's get right into Saga 4, Leg 12, Pokemon Platinum. I hope you enjoy. After naming our rival Anti-Spizzles, we pop in, run outside, and after some plot introduction, we pick up our starter, Turtwig. We name him Polnareff and then immediately abandon him. Why? Well, we only get one of each Pokemon. Even though we're at the point where we can start using more encounters than usual, remember when we used to not even carry a full team? We still need to be sparing because the starting Pokemon are pretty strong, especially for this region, and we get 5 total opportunities to obtain one, so no need to rush things. We then pick up our Pokemon that survived last leg, after a long time of tech support. But hey, if you want to see behind the scenes moments like this, so yeah, tutorial on how to hack it. Are you seeing the screen right now, bruh? What do you mean the save file is corrupted, bruh? What do you mean the save file is corrupted? What is corrupted about it? What did I corrupt? Oh my god, I'm a hacker. I'm a hacker. I'm a hacker, dude. Call me fucking Neo. Oh, here it is. Oh, I'm the best. Clip it. Clip it. Clip it right now. I don't give a shit how boring this is. Clip this shit right now. Do you see what I see? Then you should join my streams. We always have a few people in chat and it's a really fun time. Where were we? Oh yeah, the 5 surviving Titans. Screech Jr., Ron Jr., Cook the 5th, Ronaldo the 9th, and Slicer X the 12th. Yeah, we still have a Pokemon from the first episode. Anyway, after saying our goodbyes to Polnareff, we catch some Pokemon, including Kronk the Kricketune, God the Bidoof, and Critter the Shinx. Dawn, of course, has to flex on us and catch a Vespiquen, and we journey on to Jubilife. We talk to some clowns in order to get coupons or something, and we catch Ragnavalder the Starly, as well as a Magikarp named Laura. I was having a lot of fun catching all these new Gen 4 Pokemon, so I went on to catch some more at the next route, but then we get jump scared by Anti-Spizzle. I'd gotten a little used to May's tactic of standing menacingly while waiting for me to approach, so this new tactic had caught me completely off guard. Luckily, the Starly was fodderized pretty easily by Wooper, but we kept it conscious long enough to pivot to Slicer for the KO, so we could better handle Chimchar. But we end up just pivoting to finish things off with Ron since Slicer X wasn't doing good damage and Chimchar didn't have Ember. Now we made it to the next city, and due to us using or catching all of their encounters in this route, we were able to guarantee Ponyta, which was invaluable to this run since, as I've referenced last leg, Gen 4 has like no fire types, natively or just in general, so Ponyta is going to be a big help. Unfortunately though, not for this gym. Now, Rorik is known for taking his Cranidos and ramming it up the ass of blossoming Nuzlockers until submission. But I guess you could say this time, we had the plug. Ronaldo did its classic move and KO's Geodude, however Rorik had watched my videos prior and decided to send out the ace. I was gonna switch immediately, but Ronaldo was feeling daring, so we go for the offense. Ronaldo gets hit with a life-changing headbutt, rattling around what little thoughts were behind his eyes, and he pushes Cranidos back with a water gun. He did good damage, but it wasn't enough. Ron hits the field though, and he was our trump card. As we quad resisted his normal type attacks, we used Iron Defense to BM and chip away Cranidos till KO. Onyx is out last, and we just sweep it through Mud Slap spam. And with that, we win our first badge. Yeah, that's right, the sound effect is back. Gotta keep those dopamine receptors pumping, baby. Woo! Anyways, we move on to, oh my god, come on, more criminal gangs! Whatever, me and Dawn handled that. Well, after that interruption by the Galactic Yachts, we catch some Pokemon. Get some pretty solid ones, you know, we fight some trainers, you know, the usual. We then make our way through the forest and prepare for Gym 2. Looking at the box here, I was realizing...
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
As we had some pretty solid hard hitters and even a few good supports. Anyways, for the grass type gym, this was actually going to be tougher than usual because we had 2 Pokemon 4 times weak to grass, and I was super worried about somehow losing Ponyta too early when we had perfectly good, more disposable options available. So we boxed Ronaldo and Slicer X, and we added Kronk the Kricketot to the team, as well as Urban the Hoot Hoot, and we decided to throw Ponyta on the team just in case things went south. We meander through the clock puzzle, and right before the battle, Screech, Urban, and Kronk decide to kick it into high gear, and we get Loudred, Noctowl, and Kricketune. Feeling much more confident, we head into battle and lead with Cook. We go for a Peck, doing huge damage. Turtwig sets up Reflect to help out its doomed homies, and Cook secures KO after spamming Peck. However, during the onslaught of Pecks, Turtwig sets up Sunny Day, meaning Cherim did nothing as it just changed how it looked. We switched to Urban, tank a magical leaf and set up Reflect. Cherim, Terrify goes back to its foliage, but its fate is sealed. We peck, however Leech Seed starts to get the best of us, so we switch to Aaron in order to heal Urban. However, it turns out Aaron is a distant relative of Queso because Grass Knot almost KOs it despite Aaron's small stature. I switch to Kronk to see what he can do, and we end up using Sing twice against Safeguard because, I don't pay attention sometimes. We get Leech Seeded, but luckily we KO with Bug Bite and our Ace Roserade comes out. With Kronk low and Safeguard down, I decide to use Sing. We barely survive a critical hit Magical Leaf and miss. Kronk, just barely hanging on, gets the last of his life depleted from Leech Seed and dies. Seeing how Urban doesn't really excel in damage, we decide we need to pull out our trump card, the Horse, and we easily handle the battle from there with a couple of Flame Wheels. Badge 2 down. While we were taking Kronk back to the center to put into the death box, it made me reflect on the difficulty spike of these games, and the fragility of my Ace, who doesn't evolve until level 40. After all, some of these trainer battles had me locking in. And the gym leaders, they actually took their job seriously here, so I decided that I was actually going to leave Slicer X in the box. Not forever, of course. He could still follow us along on our travels if he so pleased, but he was on a strict no battling diet until he was ready to evolve and had good access to moves. Anyways, as you can see, we were stacked up against some tough opponents, but you know I had to slide on the ops, and once we were done, Ronaldo evolved into the beautiful form we all know and love. However, although all the grunts were down, Jupiter was pressed, so in fear of her flamethrower Skuntank, we level up God in order to try and use the underused strat of ancient knowledge. Simple defense curl and rollout. Simple doubles our defense curl doubles our rollout, and rollout doubles itself. Got evolved and we get to work. Our strat seemed to work and I was super hopeful since we actually didn't OHKO with rollout and this sliver of HP would stall our strat long enough to guarantee the power needed to OHKO Skuntank. However, it costed us some HP, so we held our breath and waited for the moment of truth. And then we just have to survive one attack, and we have +2 defense. And it's gonna kill... Oh yeah, Bidoof's gonna die, but... We got crit out. Not the best moves. Yeah, we got crit. God is dead. Ronaldo gets hit with Night Slash and we use Mud Shot. We get poisoned but land another attack. We try out Screech, but he is truly the new booba of the Spizzalock. So after chat revealed to me she doesn't actually have Flamethrower yet, we switch out to Aaron, who tanks Night Slashes all day and KOs with Rock Tombs. We add Urban to the team and journey onward. Next up, it's Fantina's turn for clapping, so we lead with Aaron. God, that's getting annoying. We use Iron Defense while they burn with Will-O-Wisp. We go for a few Metal Claws while it uses Future Sight, but once we took that attack on top of Burn, we realized Aaron did their due diligence and it was time for something new. We switched Ronaldo to KO with some pitiful water guns, but they simply burn us, heal, and use Future Sight. After trading blows, things are looking pretty grim. So we go to the Horse, who eats a Future Sight. I guess they're too nonchalant to care about the future. And we KO with Flame Wheel. Haunter's out next, and predicting Shadow Claw, we switch to Urban. We get hit by Confuse Ray, but set up a Reflect. We go for an attack, but not only get Sucker Punch, but we hit ourselves. However, in a turn of luck, Haunter uses Hypnosis, triggering our ability Insomnia, and we happen to snap out of Confusion and land a Confusion of our own. Confuse Ray lands again, but we pull through and KO. Miss Magius comes out, and I decide to try and squeeze value by going for Hypnosis, but it just doesn't work and Reflect fades. I decide to risk it and try again. And we land it, putting Miss Magius to sleep and allowing us to safely switch into Screech and bite the ghost to death. Huh. Screech being useful for once? Maybe he really is the new booba. After that, we were surprise attacked by Anti-Spizzle yet again, but our team handled him pretty well. Even with Slicer X gone, we luckily had Ronaldo as the elder member to carry the team into victory. We then discover some ancient ruins, catch a couple more Pokemon, and explore the underground a bit. We hack and cheat so I can afford to buy out the game corner. What, you thought I was gonna grind for 8 hours and gamble? Nah, bro, I got a YouTube schedule to fail. Oops, I accidentally misclicked, so one more for the road. Oh, well, if they gave us replay. Oh, 777! We hit it, chat. We hit it.
You weren't supposed to see that.
The next gym we would have to face is Maylene, and we have a pretty substantial fighting type weakness, so Screech and Aaron joined Slicer X in the box, and it was time to get to team building. With a base of Ronaldo, Cook, Urban, and the Horse, I began to calculate which Pokemon would sync the best with this team, and I landed on Femcell the Shellos and Blaze the Eevee, who we evolved into Gastrodon and Espeon. Now, quick side tangent. Eevee is a confusing Pokemon to use on this series, with it being a single evolution yet having 8 different options. How does this work in the Spizzalock? Well, if we're abiding by all the rules from the original video, I actually didn't use Eevee in battle first of all, meaning it's good to use in future legs. So we could have multiple evolutions on a team. But let's say I had used Eevee in battle. If I could still obtain and evolve it without using it in battle, as long as it isn't another Espeon, it's fair game. Anyway, we evolve Cook into Dodrio, and with our anti-fighting team assembled, we face off against Maylene and start with Blaze against Metatite. We get hit with Fake Out, and despite the neutral damage, we one-shot with Psychic. Machoke comes to avenge its fallen Dubro, but clearly skipped Brain Day and fell to Psychic. Lucario stops our Psychic sweep, so we switch to Ronaldo as I'm scared of Bone Rush killing the horse. And after eating a Metal Claw, we yawn after getting Force Palmed. We decide to stay in to ensure our switch in wouldn't get too low, and this happened. Mud Shot here. Train Punch. Oh my god, dude. Hit that shit. Hell yeah. With our 4th badge under our belt, we prepare for Crasher Wake. We switch out the horse for Screech and Urban for Shinx the Critter, Shinx the Critter. Get out of here. Now, although Critter had a less than ideal and blatantly misleading ability Rivalry, it was the powerful electric type we needed to stand a chance against Crasher Wake. Alright, you know how it goes. Luxio then Luxray. Let's fight this gym leader. I work at a liquidation store. I'm mainly the driver. Oh, you motherfucker. You have 3 seconds before I activate my Second Amendment right. Despite Staravia's double team spamming, Critter one-shots with Thunderfang and then mauls Anti-Spizzle's Buizel like a chew toy. We use Roar on Monferno for a better switch into Blaze, who gets leech seeded. We then sweep the battle with Psychic. It's time to take down Crasher Wake, and he leads with the worst lead ever in Gyarados, as after Critter almost drowns to Waterfall, she becomes the fork to Wake's Toaster and crit Okos his first Pokemon. Wake then sends a Ronaldo of his own, so we switch to our own. We get busted on with Mud Shot, and our Quagsires prepare for a nap together by clashing yawns. We switch to Blaze as it falls asleep, and Oko with Grass Knot. Unfortunately though, we were yawned as well, so we fall asleep as Floatzel comes out. We send out Ronaldo to take the shot for Crunch, and after barely surviving a crit crunch after that, we successfully pop off Yawn. We switch to Cook, get it low with Return, it pops a berry while it's sleeping. Somehow. And we KO next turn, winning us badge number 5. Thanks to YouTube magic, you can actually skip seeing my chat bully me for 20 minutes as I'm stuck trying to get out of the gym after winning. Upon our travels, we discover more ancient ruins and then get jumped by the Galactic Yacht's head leader, so I try to riz him up, but it didn't really work out in my favor. I have to immediately switch out of Cook, so I go to Screech, who actually avoided Sneasel using Screech due to soundproof. We switch to Ronaldo and go for Yawn, but that of course costs us 2 Ice Punches. We get frozen, but thaw immediately and land Yawn. I switch to Blaze, who tanks the final conscious blow, and Sneasel gets Cosbeat, so we switch to Critter and Roar. However, it wakes up and Ice Punches anyway. Murkrow comes out, and after we survive a feint attack, we Oko with Thunderfang. We heal up on Crobat, because Cyrus ain't no gym leader, and we get hit with Toxic due to Poison Fang. We take another Poison Fang and don't even secure the KO as Critter is brought closer to death. I didn't have any full restores, and we couldn't take any more damage if I healed Poison, so I had to switch. I go to Ronaldo as Cyrus heals. We heal Critter and land Yawn on Golbat and try to chip it down with Water Gun, but it just isn't hitting like it used to, so we go to Blaze and KO with Psychic. Predicting Pursuit, I switch to Cook, which was really dumb of me as I almost got one shot with Ice Punch. Without much else of a choice, we switch to Critter, take a hit, and then another with a crit slash. Critter musters all of its strength into a powerful Thunderfang that paralyzes Sneasel, and then she succumbs and dies to the poison. Although she died this battle, it was not in vain, as the paralysis was the speed drop we needed in order to avoid more deaths. We outspeed, Earthquake, and win the battle. Luckily, although we had to put Critter in the death box, our allies box was popping off this leg, so we added Aaron and the horse and continued our travels. While we journeyed on to Canalave, I was excited because this would be a breeze. We had a water and ground type as well as Grass Knot for support, and we had the star of the show, the horse, who was gonna sweep with its rare and powerful fire type moves. And then of course, Anti-Spizzles jumped us. Although our lead wasn't perfect, we yawned to stop its double team spamming. It didn't work out optimally, but we eventually get the KO after a few tries from Aaron. Blaze comes out predicting Brick Break, and we of course one-shot the poor monkey with Blaze's unfair powers. Heracross comes out, and it's now, of course, the horse's time to shine, so we switch out and Heracross uses Night Slash. We send out Cook, miss a fly, and get hit with Brick Break. But with little other options, we end up taking a risk and try again, thankfully landing this time. We switch to Ronaldo for Floatzel and almost lose Cook to Pursuit. Water Absorb comes in clutch, giving us a heal, and we KO it with Yawn and EQs. Roserade's out last, and we finish it with Cook easily. After a long time of consideration, I decide to say fuck it, we ball, add Femcell to the team, and face off. We get Screech to evolve into Exploud, crack our knuckles, and challenge Byron to a Pokemon battle.
What's up, baby? take me out to dinner. Hey, yo.
It's Magneton versus Ronaldo, and it outspeeds us in Lynch Tri-Attack, burning us. This unfortunately drops our attack just enough to allow it to survive Earthquake. It heals, and then the cycle repeats. Not wanting to risk Ronaldo, we switch to Screech, who surprisingly tanks a blow this time and KOs with Crunch. Steelix comes out, and we go to Femcell, and it sets up a Sandstorm. Jesus, that was a tongue twister. We one-shot with Muddy Water, then Bastion comes out. After throwing another Muddy Water out, I was worried this battle may take a while, but then I remembered it's 4 times weakness to ground and KO'd for the 6th badge. We then meet up with Anti-Spizzle, Dawn, and the Professor for an intervention about my rare candy problem. Listen, I can stop whenever I want. I just don't like to grind. All right, come on. Bro, I literally do not give a shit about this storyline. Okay, yeah. Has it stopped? Are all of you unharmed? Oh my god, they hit the 2nd tower! Oh my god, the lake is gone. The lake has fallen. The Galactic Yachts had apparently been doing literal terrorism now, so I guess we had to travel to every lake to ensure everything is alright, because, that's my job now, I guess. At least I don't have to give up rare candies. And so we travel from lake to lake, fighting grunts, admins, and in actuality, just trudging through the story. Would you like to join Magikarp and flop around in the mud? Yo, low-key? If it meant skipping this story, yeah, I actually would. And by the end of it, we were basically told, ignore all that, just go fight the next gym, lol. Fine by me. But the path was long and HM ridden, so wanting to maximize team members, I bring out God the Babarrel to help us traverse the mountains. Are they dead? Yeah, but we gotta make it to Snow Point one way or another. So we take our dead deity and smash, push, and climb our way to Snow Point. After taking in the beautiful scenery, we start our team building. Cook and God go in the box and we bring out Aaron and Zenyatta the Metatite, who we evolve into Metacham. I made sure to use our flamethrower TM on Screech for a little extra coverage, and we start our battle off against Candace. We immediately lose half our health immediately to Sneasel, but Oko with Force Palm. Candace now goes right for the ace with her incredibly scary Frostlass. Scared of a misplay or unlucky crit, I switch to Aggron while it uses Double Team. However, despite multiple double teams, Aaron lands a direct Iron Head, Okoing Frostlass. Piloswine's out next, so we move to Femcell, predicting an EQ. We barely survive another EQ and set up Rain Dance. And then the smartest Spizzles viewer decides to speak up and stand on business. Why not surf, you Dunfis? Hey buddy, because I don't have that, Dunfis. Admittedly, they were right. I could have taught Gastrodon Surf beforehand and that would have been way better for this fight. But counterpoint? We switch to Ronaldo, who gets buried by Avalanche. We fully heal and Piloswine sets Hail. With Rain being taken from us, it allows Piloswine to survive another turn. And switch out? Abomasnow comes out and absolutely tanks our Surf and charges up an Obamehameha on our Ronaldo. I knew that Screech could take it out with Flamethrower, but Woodhammer was far too strong. Too strong for anyone on our team to tank. So, in order to gain a safe switch in, I switch into Femcell and sacrifice them to Obama. Screech comes out and KOs in a single hit. Piloswine's out next, and after some Flamethrower spamming, we secure our 7th badge. We put our 5th death in the box and we went to do the final trudge of the story. But before we could climb Mount Coronet, we broke into Team Platinum's base and have a horrible stroke of luck against a grunt. Accident, oopsies. Got that special defense boost, I guess. Yo, hurt myself twice in a row, and now I can no longer escape. I love this game. I love when the game is played fairly and skill-based. Yo, no fucking way. I hit myself twice in a row. And I now have Poison Fang. Can I please snap out? Yo, Cook. Yeah, we lost Cook. Yo! Alright, I'm going to take a piss. I'll be back in 120 seconds, chat. Cook, after so many sweeps, OKOs, and EQ immunities, dies to unlucky RNG and getting boxed by a Golbat. If that doesn't show the difficulty of Spizzlelock just from a sheer statistical perspective, I don't know what does. We went back to the Pokemon Center. We let Slicer X know who died, and we both agreed it was time for him to step back up and rejoin the team. We also added Urban to the team to take place of Team Flyer. While we were getting the Rock Slide TM for him, we came across an ancient mural with Mess Spirit, Azelf, Yuxi, and a message written in unknown. But I couldn't quite make it out. After finding out we couldn't get Waterfall, the only good physical water type move we had access to for Slicer X, until after Badge 8, we taught Slicer X Rock Slide and evolved him into Kabutops. We began clearing out Team Galactic members, our team slowly becoming more unrecognizable from when we first began, and we finally found Cyrus. Oh, hell no, he's trying to demonetize my videos. Get over here. Now, while I destroy Cyrus here, a quick reminder. If you've made it this far, you clearly at least somewhat enjoy my content, or at the very least don't mind it playing in the background of whatever you're doing. So if you wouldn't mind, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed, as it helps motivate me to make bigger and better things, and it's completely free and only takes you a couple seconds, and your small action could ultimately really change my life, so thank you for that. We free the trapped trio from the milking room and use our dead god once again to climb to the top of Mount Coronet, where, on my way to stop Cyrus from destroying the world, my nerves got the best of me, and I create possibly the worst death in all of Nuzlocke history. Oh shit. I think I'm gonna stick to max repels, guys. I think I'm gonna stick to max repels. Yeah, that's right. And we're not even close to done at 6 deaths. I head back to regroup. Cyrus was already going to be pretty difficult, and I just lost my tank. On top of that, since we needed God to get us to and from the peak of Mount Chimney, we had to face Cyrus with only 5 Pokemon. So I put away Aaron for the last time and bring back Zenyatta. However, don't get too excited because I decide, oh yeah, I could get the Riolu egg from Iron Island as a backup member. So I sail on down, meet up with my boy, and while we were making our way through the cave, this happens. Whoopsie daisies. Oh, whoopsie daisies. I just want to get these other Pokeballs. Now we're in this 6v6 hellscape. Oh my god. Alright, we're about to take a million attacks. I'm just going to go to... Oh god, I'm just going to... go to Zenyatta, I guess. What the fuck? I'm glad I switched. What the fuck? It's so over for me. It's so over. Explosion? Oh my god, it's never been more over for me. Time for Lucario, it might be, chat. The plot twist of it all, after I make it all the way through the cave and get the egg, I end up deciding I don't want to use Lucario yet. So now, really running out of options, I add Noodle the Onix to the team and evolve it into a Steelix. I then end up doing some mining in the underground to cool my nerves. And then disheartened, sedated by the mines, and angry, I go and meet with Cyrus. Oh shit, don't make me fight you just yet. Okay. What? This is one of the best cutscenes in Pokemon history, bro. Why can't they make games like this again? Interesting. What? Oh shit. Giratina. Oh nah. I'd kill myself. I'd kill myself, bruh. Damn. Hey, bro, come on. She's bad. Like look at her. Damn. All I'm saying is, oh, they're all going it. Cynthia, I don't know about this one actually. Now I'm thinking about it. Like, it's just kind of like, see Mespira. Yeah, see Mespira. We're not going in, right? We're staying by. Oh, yeah. Cynthia, they got that though. They got that, Cynthia. We have to cheat. I mean. Alright, Cynthia, okay. Do it, clap. We wandered for what seemed like hours through the distortion world, completing strange puzzles and crossing impossible terrain, before finally cornering the man who was trying to break our universe. And when you think about it, it was really his fault we had lost those last 2 Pokemon, so I wanted to get my lick back. This time, I wasn't going for KO. This sick bastard has me commanding my team of pocket monsters to go for headshots and arteries. We challenge Cyrus in order to stop him, and it's Ronaldo versus Houndoom. We lose half HP to Dark Pulse, and almost KO with Surf. We get Will-O-Wisp and KO next turn, but I realized then we did not level up to his ace, so we were underleveled. And I hadn't saved my game since pre-Distortion World, so I had to lock in. I fully heal Ronaldo because fuck you, Cyrus, you're not a gym leader. We go for a yawn, and the damage he dealt with Ice Fang ends up getting healed as Cyrus is too dumb to know what Water Absorb is. We switch to Noodle, preparing for Gyarados to fall asleep, but we get frozen. No matter though, because I decided to test my luck, stay in and spam Thunder Fang until I thawed out and eventually get the KO. costing Noodle a lot of HP last turn in the process. Haunchcrow's out next, and it was the perfect time to finally bring Slicer X back into the battlefield. Slicer X completely ignores a heat wave and blitzes the Haunch with a rock slide, bringing it to red and flinching. They heal and we KO with 2 more rock slides. Weevil's out next and we let it fake out Slicer X. We then tag in Slicer's right-hand man Ronaldo to tank the Night Slash, and we go for a yawn. We're of course outsped, and Weavile uses Ice Punch, landing a crit, and killing Ronaldo. Ronaldo was held in similar regard to Light and Slicer X for me. He was an extremely long-standing teammate. We would go through entire team cycles on Nuzlocke with the only constant being him and Slicer X. We would lose newbies, juniors, and even thirds and fourths, but Ronaldo would remain. Until now. And it reminded me in that moment how brutal death was in this challenge. You can sometimes tell from my narrative a death's about to happen if you pay attention, but this one was really out of the blue for me, and I just wasn't expecting it. Goodbye, Ronaldo. It was an honor to finally learn how good Quagsire really is. I told my Pokemon to reel it in, and only to fight until KO, and Slicer X was already going for an attack. Weevil hits Night Slash, and Slicer uses Rock Slide. It lives, eats a berry, and Night Slashes again. Slicer X gets dangerously low, but doesn't care anymore after what he saw that Weavile do to Ronaldo. One more Rock Slide and it's down. We switch to Blaze and KO Crobat with a single Psychic, winning us the battle. Cyrus storms off defeated, and Cynthia tells me how hot I am. I tell her I know. She asks me if there's anything she can do to repay me for, like, totally saving the world, and I tell her I haven't just yet, but a Friday night and a bottle of coconut oil should do it. Just then, Giratina emerges, overhearing our conversation. And then, it spoke to me.
Did somebody say coconut oil?
Yo, what the fuck?
Bring that ass back, boy.
Giratina, is that you?
Yes, now give me them cheeks, model. Yes, sir.
At that moment I knew it was hunt or be hunted, and I needed to rely on the help of one special Pokemon. Yeah, boy, you ain't ready for this. Rock Climb, Cut, Strength, Rock Smash. We showed our dominance to Giratina by sending it to the box with a brand new name, and God returned to the spirit world. Another successful Pokemon story down. However, things weren't all sunshine and rainbows, as Ronaldo was dead and the Allies box was running dry, so we brought back Screech and added a Pachirisu named Luminix to the team. We then go to the weirdest designed town of the game and get right to work with a really annoying electric puzzle. Once that was through, we square up and challenge the Sire of Sideburns to a battle. We send out Noodle first against Jolteon and easily crit Oko with a dig. We risk it for the biscuit, dodge a Focus Blast, and land another successful dig, getting another Oko. However, Electivire outspeeds us and lands a Fire Punch, doing solid damage. We dig to dodge another Fire Punch and come up doing about 3/4 health. It eats a berry, but we simply tank another Fire Punch and KO with Dig. With Exhaustion catching up to Noodle, we switch to Luminix, taking on the vicious Fire Fang, and lands a much needed Super Fang onto Luxray. Crunch does big damage to us. I go for a switch, and unfortunately, I misclick, sending out Blaze and killing her. We got the Screech in order to heal Noodle. We switch over, shrug off an Immune Thunder Fang, get hit with 2 Fire Fangs due to flinch, and finish the battle with a dig. After that, I was completely done with this leg. I was tired, I'd streamed for like 5 hours, and I'd lost Cook and Ronaldo, as well as multiple other really good Pokemon. I had saved the world, completed the final few badges, and my team synergy was slowly falling apart. I stripped all Pokemon of their items, put all allies in the box, put Blaze to rest. I booked a room at the Pokemon Center, and me and Slicer X took a hard night's sleep. After all, the next day was going to be full of tough choices, as we were preparing for the Pokemon League, and for the first time in Nuzlocke, to fight the infamous Cynthia. We woke the next morning, and I decided before we got to all this team building, we would be better off actually reaching the league first. No point picking, catching, grinding, and perfecting a perfect team if I lose half of it to Victory Road. Only issue is, like I said before, our team synergy was pretty bad. And to make things worse, there are 6 needed HMs to traverse Victory Road, and since God was limited to 4 moves, and Slicer X only being able to afford to have Waterfall in his moveset, we would have to bring our reliable member number down to 4 for Victory Road in order to even do it. Or maybe there was another way. We had lost a lot of Pokemon new and old in this leg, to the point where besides Slicer X, the oldest Pokemon alive in Nuzlocke was Screech, a Pokemon I didn't even intend to survive this long. And although I had come to like Screech, they weren't exactly a great Pokemon to have, as they were niche at best. But niche was exactly what we needed right now. Me and Screech came to an agreement, you see, that it was obvious if Screech continued to join us on this journey, it would mean certain death for him. He knew that he was no Snorlax, and he was a skillful battler, but he also got lucky. He would now learn Surf to help us get to the league and stay behind in allies, keeping his life and helping his team become stronger by letting his slot be taken by a Pokemon better suited to helping keep Slicer X alive. We teach Screech Surf and we were off the Victory Road. Hi, Future Spizzles here. I forgot a part of the script and gotta update it, as if this video couldn't get any longer. Not even a ride on the SS Screech was safe from death, because around halfway through the Ocean Blue, this sailor tried to make us subdue, but we Yoko Pelipper with Luminix, switched to Urban for Gastrodon, but it isn't enough for the KO, so we go to Screech, who finally takes it out. This guy then throws out Machoke last, and unfortunately our team was not prepared to take on a powerful fighting type, as Slicer X and Noodle were weak to fighting, Urban was too low to tank a neutral hit, and Jam was a Pokemon we caught since we had an open slot on the team, and I didn't want to use it just to box it after beating a single Pokemon, so we unfortunately had to sacrifice Luminix to a crit cross chop so Urban could heal, set reflect, and win the battle. Oh, also, thanks to Zero Legend for finding the general area where it was. I literally just couldn't find the footage. He also made me a custom sprite, which I'm going to use in my Pokewild series that's coming out soon, so make sure to go check that out, and go subscribe to his channel. I think he's going to be posting YouTube videos someday. But yeah, for real, take it away, President Spizzles. We then made it to Victory Road's door, and I had a slight change of plan. Looking at the teams some of these trainers had, I actually wanted to just start team building now so I didn't risk Slicer X dying. So I ran into Victory Road and started sprinting around, since it was a dead route for us. Except for Gabite. So we were basically guaranteed Garchomp this leg. I, of course, take advantage, and after a few tries, I secure Willis the Gabite. I was ready to start the team building, so I emptied my team and started drafting who would join us and who would stay behind for good. After Slicer X, of course, I picked up Willis the Gabite, Laura the Magikarp, and Pollen the Roselia. Then, after a lot of staring at the allies box, I picked up Noodle the Steelix, as Steel would be super valuable and it can learn some decent coverage moves. And for the last member, although I really wanted to bring Urban with us, since some psychic moves and Reflect would be great, especially after Blaze's death, this Elite Four would be our hardest yet, and I couldn't afford to take risks like I used to back then. Running into champion level battles with a Wigglytuff and Muck and calling it strategy. I had to be careful. So I said my goodbyes to Urban and added Ragnavalder the Starly to the team. They were all of varying level and new experience, unaccustomed to the ways of Nuzlocke. But with Slicer X as their guide, I knew they could become something great. It actually reminded me of all that time ago, about a year now from the time of posting this, when I started Nuzlocke, and had lost Sea Moon and Mr. Cosby. I had to rebuild my team from the ground up, and I ended up making something beautiful and fun. I hope Slicer X and I are able to recreate that with this team, just as Light had done for my original team. With one more thing in mind left to do before the grind, I went to the Name Raiders' house. You see, there had been a prophecy on Nuzlocke, one I had only ever shared with my chat, that Gyarados would play a huge role in Nuzlocke due to it being available in every game and its incredible power. However, I would use it when, and only when Ronaldo died, as otherwise we would have too many water types on the team. Now that the time's finally come, I gave Laura a much more fitting and deserving name, since this little fish was going to be making my dreams come true. And after a long, tedious, boring, wiki glazing, YouTube skipping, streamathon grind of setting up our team, we got all my movesets prepared, all Pokemon evolved, and we head into the final challenge before the league, Victory Road. That pause. Can you feel it? I'm sure you can guess what happens next. The first trainer Let me repeat to you. The first trainer we run into while going through Victory Road chipped us away with Glalie, then locked us into Magnet Pull Magnezone. I tried heal spamming until it ran out of flash cannons, but then of course, this is my luck. So I guess we were going into the Elite Four with an extra clean slate. I drop off our 12th death of the leg and fill Noodle slot with Screech. I pull up the trainers teams online now and slowly and carefully battle all the necessary trainers to make it out to the other side. We take a good look at the backup box, and realizing I'm shit out of good choices if I want to at least save some good Pokemon for future legs, I cave in, have another talk with Screech, and they reluctantly join the team. Thanks again, man, you're a real pal. After some final prep, the moment you've all been waiting for. Here's the team. I'm gonna go with Screech. The team: Ragnavalder with Fist Plate, Intimidate, Double Team Brave Bird Quick Attack Close Combat, Willis the Garchomp with Dragon Fang, Sand Veil, Crunch Sandstorm, Dragonclaw Earthquake, Pollen the Roserade with Big Root, Poison Point, Toxic Spikes, Giga Drain, Leech Seed, Sludge Bomb, Shenron the Gyarados with Never Melt Ice, Intimidate, Waterfall, Ice Fang, Dragon Dance, Rain Dance, Screech Jr. the X-Blab with Wide Lens, Soundproof, Crunch, Rock Climb, Surf, and Flamethrower, and finally Slicer X the 12th, the Kabutops with Metronome, Battle Armor, Aqua Jet, Ice Beam, Waterfall, and Rock Slide. And now, it was time to... Oh, god damn it, Anti-Spizzle! Shenron and Staraptor showcase their Conqueror's Hockey, and then after setting up Dragon Dance, we KO with Ice Fangs, taking some damage in the process. We go to Willis for Heracross and tank a Rock Slide. We set up a Sandstorm for evasion with our ability, but end up almost getting KO by close combat. We spam heals until Heracross misses, and we OHKO with Dragon Claw. We switched to Screech for Floatzel, tanking Ice Fang, and even though we forgot about Floatzel's Brick Break, Screech hung on and did big damage back with Rock Climb. We heal, and then another Brick Break crits and almost one-shot Screech. With Screech getting absolutely jumped and bullied, I just take a risk and switch to Ragnavalder, who I'm gonna call Ragna for short. And we tank Brick Break after intimidating. We then go for another risky play, dodge Ice Fang, and KO with Brave Bird. Not wanting to get too frisky on stream and incite a multitude of edging bans, I switch to Willis, who loses half health to an Infernape Kamehameha. We realize healing ain't the play and switch to Shenron. God, I love having two Intimidate users. After a few turns of back and forth healing and attacks, we get burnt by Flamethrower, but finally KO Infernape. Snorlax is out, and after failing to set up D-Dances, we switch to Pollen, who is almost one-shot by Snorlax's sheer might. We triple Intimidate Snorlax, heal up our whole team in classic Pokemon style, and then after setting up a nice amount of D-Dances, we KO Snorlax in a single hit and one-shot Roserade. Okay, this video is extremely long just from looking at the script. Let's move on to the Elite Four. Something motivational speech, something hardest fight of our lives, something power of friendship. Let's go. First up is Aaron. I almost called him Aaron. God, he's in my head. Get out! The Bug-type Master surprisingly gave us a lot of difficulty. We lead Ragnavalder against Yanmega and OHKO. We switch to Gyarados for Drapion, drop attack, tank Ice Fang, then go back to Ragna for double Intimidate as we take big damage from Cross Poison. We get a third drop from Shenron, get hit with another Cross Poison, then D-Dance. We use Waterfall, pop the berry, and flinch them. After a few more blows and heals, we KO Drapion. Vespiquen is out, and we switch to Willis, while it sets up defense with Defend Order. We set up Sandstorm, but as we go for the offense with Dragon Claw, we realize I may have underglazed the powers of Vespiquen. I'll definitely shoot it a couple more ropes next time. Especially after it started using Heal Order. We switched to Screech to hope Flamethrower would take it down, but no stab plus Giga Defenses made it a laughable attempt as Vespiquen began to show us the true power of Combee by using Attack Order. We go for Rock Climb, which did little more as Attack Order absolutely destroys Screech. We get crit and Screech succumbs to the swarm. I guess we truly were gonna have a clean slate. We flinch the Queen with Ice Fang, and just when things were seeming dire, we land a freeze. We secure the KO, and a Heracross arrives to my battered team. Willis jumps in to save Shenron from Megahorn, and almost dies in the process. I heal Willis. She tanks Night Slash, and we outslash it for KO. With Scizor out and its only weakness dead by bees, we get each other low with Earthquake and Iron Head. They have a stare down, and Willis goes for EQ, outspeeding and KOing, winning us the battle. Screech had not even wished to rejoin our team, and we brought them anyway, and led them right to their death. And now our karmic reward was here. We had to fight our hardest league yet with 5 Pokemon remaining. Next up is Old Lady Bertha. We set up Leech Seed against Sandstorm with Pollen, and Wishcash almost kills us with his Zen Headbutt. But Big Root, Leech Seed, and Giga Drain destroy it and sets us back to full. Oh yeah, we also landed a Toxic Spike. We go for another greedy spike as Earthquake brings Pollen to the brink of death, so we switch to Shenron, pop and Intimidate, tank Ice Fang, and the Sandstorm subsides. We forget about Thunder Fang and just barely survive. We bite back with an Ice Fang, bringing it low. We heal here and get uber lucky with them using Fire Fang. We risk it, survive another Thunder Fang on the brink of death, and KO. It was risky, but I had full faith in Gyarados in those moments. Golem gets toxic from Pollen Spikes, and we switch to Willis, who catches Golem's Fire Fist and point blank EQs. We survive an EQ back, and it falls to Toxic. Rhyperior's out next. It gets Toxic, and that's our cue for Slicer X to come out. Break through an Avalanche, and full power Crash Waterfall into Rhyperior for the Oko. Hippowdon's out last, taking Toxic and setting S-Storm. Ragna hovers above the EQ, saving Slicer X the damage, and we begin to simply switch back and forth, baiting EQ, avoiding it with immunity, and Toxic stalling Hippowdon. However, I guess there's a reason Bertha is in the Elite Four, as she uses Stone Edge after a few fails. Luckily though, due to so many attack drops, it doesn't do too much. Just when we thought we had won, Bertha uses a full restore. I now go for a risk, switch to Slicer X, tank an attack, almost KO with Waterfall, and Slicer X clings on after an Earthquake, and we finish things with one more Waterfall. Next up was Flint. We Oko with Waterfall, then switch to Ragna for Infernape. We dodge EQ, tank an attack drop Flare Blitz, then Oko with Brave Bird. We go to Willis for Magmortar and Oko with EQ. Flare Blitz deals quite a bit of damage, but we Oko regardless. And we switch to Shenron for Intimidate Drop. We get burned, switch to Slicer X, and finish things with a Waterfall. After dog walking Flint, it was time for our final challenge before Cynthia, Lucian. We lead with Ragnavalder and Oko both Mr. Mime and Ace Gallade with Brave Bird. We switch to Willis, who dodges a Focus Blast, survives a point-blank Psychic, and chows down on Alakazam's Chrome Dome for a crit Oko. Espeon's out and Willis almost falls to its powerful Psychic, but we pull through and she mauls it for the Oko. Bronzong's out last and we tank a Psychic with Shenron, and they both power up to their Super Saiyan forms with Dragon Dance and Calm Mind. After two are set up on either side, I use Waterfall and get Bronzong to a Sliver. Bracing for Shenron's death, she pulls through and Waterfalls again on Lucian's heel. We outspeed, Waterfall, and KO, winning us the battle. Our team was pretty beat up, but they had learned a lot and trained quickly under Slicer X. It was now time for the hardest challenge in the run yet. With 5 Pokemon remaining, it was time to face Cynthia. We healed up with my remaining Moo Moo Milks as a treat, and we all chilled outside Cynthia's room, prepared for certain death. But we would be doing it for a good cause, and we would be doing it together, as a team. They had all just met, but they were fighting hard, taking hits for each other, and working in total harmony. And it was time to put it all to the test. We walk in and the music plays. The time was now. Spiritomb comes out, and we lead with Pollen. She may not be the best lead at first glance, considering Cynthia's workaround to T-Spikes, but we had a plan. We Leech Seed, and Pollen survives the Psychic. We thank her for her help and return her to the ball. Cynthia was intrigued yet puzzled by my decision. I had basically lost a Pokemon just to set up a single Leech Seed, as Roserade is generally frail and will now be hard to switch into considering her team's bulk and movesets. But her intrigue was soon to turn into horror, as I unleashed my ultimate trump card. Spiritomb continued to dish out attacks as we stacked 1, 2 Dragon Dances before getting low. But we weren't done. We used our 1 healing item on Shenron and set up 1 more Dragon Dance. It was time. We used Waterfall and KO. 5 left to go. Togekiss comes out and barely holds on after Shenron's powerful triple boost Waterfall attack. Despite Cynthia's full restores, we take it out before it could even damage Shenron a single time. 4 left to go. Her valiant Lucario hits the field only to fall to a single Waterfall. 3 left to go. No more playing around, she says as she throws out her Ace Garchomp, the Pokemon that had easily handled each trainer that came before me. However, I came prepared. And one shot with a single Ice Fang attack. 2 left to go. Cynthia, running out of ideas and running out of options, throws out her last chance to save her title. Milotic comes out and I use a Waterfall, doing about half health. She uses her one shot at winning, an Ice Beam, but it doesn't freeze. And with our last Waterfall PP, we KO Milotic. 1 left to go. Finally, Roserade comes out, and against Cynthia's orders, Roserade takes a knee and bows to Shenron, before accepting defeat and succumbing to Ice Fang. We did it! After 13 deaths, 4 new team members, and an ally left behind, we finally beat Pokemon Platinum. We may have had record deaths, but we made it. This leg showed me many things. That maybe although our many losses this episode were sad, we could still build something new from this. Something perhaps even better. I'd also come to appreciate the bittersweetness of the prophecy of Gyarados being completed here, as we basically swept Cynthia with it. Okay, yeah, Pollen helped too, but anyways, that's gonna be it for this episode. I can't believe out of all the Elite Four and Cynthia, Aaron, the first Elite Four member, and the bug type Elite Four member gave us the most trouble, but we swept Cynthia. But anyway, I'm excited to play these Gen 4 games. They're definitely a lot harder and a lot longer. Pause. But I'm still excited to just get in there and bounce right on it. Hey, yo, bro. Anyways, that's going to be about it. This is a long video, so I'm sure you've gotten your fill. I sure know I have. I gotta stop talking. Anyways, guys, I'll suck you later. I'll see you later. Bye.